One great question, again, the question mark that a lot of people have in their head is, well, you have the wall cast. That's awesome. Okay, I'm kind of curious to know what came first, the wall cast or the partnership?
The wallcast came first. The wallcast started just after we opened the new building in February 2011, and it's part of our commitment to the community. We have a great partnership with the city of Miami Beach. So when we built Miami Beach Soundscape with the city of Miami Beach as part of the campaign to build the building, one of the things we decided to do was wallcast. And so a wallcast, for those of you who don't know, we have anywhere from 10 to 12 concerts a year where we simulcast the concert inside the building out on our 7,000 square foot wall that's centrally located in Miami Beach at the corner of 17th and Washington. Coincidentally, there's a Citibank branch across the street, so I think the synergy really helped with that. And so we had been running the wallcast for about 3 years. And interestingly, last year, Citibank contacted us, actually from New York and headquarters, about the movie nights. Now, the city of Miami Beach runs movie nights every Wednesday night, occasionally on Thursday nights, from October to May. And they get anywhere from 500 to 1,000 people at the movie nights that they do. But that actually, when the call came through, we had to explain that that's a partnership with the city of Miami Beach, even though it's in the park adjacent to our building, that if you want to sponsor movie nights, it is going through the city of Miami Beach. However, have you heard about the wallcast? Because our 12 wallcasts this year have averaged 2,000 people. Again, it's a free community benefit. We hit a high this year with over the holiday concert where Diane and a lot of her team were here. We had over 4,000 people in the park, which is the most we've ever had. The entire park was full. It was spilling out onto the sidewalks. So it really has become a great community event, and it's a perfect partnership.
So definitely the wallcast came first, but Miami is one of Citibank's major cities. And so when we look to invest, we're looking for places where we find a large number of our clients that live, work, and play. And I don't know if South Beach qualifies, but I certainly think so. And so as we were looking to invest in both the community and also to try to heighten the brand awareness, we looked for opportunities where we were already connected to the community and can also see large amount of our either customers or potential customers. And so that's how we came up with the opportunity to call into the New World Symphony and the wallcast, and we actually wound up sponsoring both. So not only did we have a partnership with the city of Miami Beach for their movie nights throughout the year, not all of them, but a select group, we also then became the community sponsor for the wallcast series.
That's awesome. How, practically speaking, how did this work out in between what now New World, what the people see from Citibank and what people see from the New World Symphony in terms of, there has to be an exchange between you two in terms of putting the event together. Now, how do you show them off and how do you show them off?
Todd and I have a great relationship. We've worked together for almost a year now, right? It's been going on for a long time. How do they show us off? Well, unfortunately, my face was on a 7,000 square foot screen before every concert series talking about our partnership with the New World Symphony. What I think is important, though, is how much larger our collaboration became. It started out just talking about those few concerts, and it's grown into so much more. So you want to expand a little on that?
Certainly. One of the surprise benefits of working with Citibank has been all the publicity that they provided for everything that we do, not just the wallcast. Certainly, as part of their growing presence in Miami and looking, with the city bikes and the sponsorship of the wallcast and the movie nights, they've made a big splash in Miami this year, and they've made a commitment to Miami and the community. One of the nice things, though, is the leadership there at Citibank has really become enamored with our mission. I think a lot of times when you look at sponsorship opportunities of this size, sometimes the corporate sponsor may look at the nonprofit as a means to an end to reach particular demographic groups or clients. In this case, I'm sure that may have been the thinking at the beginning, like this is a great asset in Miami, but they have become connected to our mission. And so one of the One of the great things is we do fellow profiles for all of our musicians who are fellows. We do them before each concert. Well, before the Wallcast concert, they're up on the wall, and then we have those presented by Knight Foundation and City. City has those fellow profiles on their website, which is great exposure for us globally, given City's reach and presence. So it really, there's been a lot of different ways that it's expanded beyond just doing the Wallcast.
Just to touch a little bit on the mission piece of it, it's very important, obviously, for both of us who we align with, right? From a reputation standpoint and a branding standpoint, so that went into a lot of our decision making. It's very easy to go sponsor a golf tournament or some other things that happen throughout the city, but to really choose to make a difference and to contribute to something in the community that's going to, forward progress the community it's a different way of thinking. And while, of course there were benefits that came along the way, it was not our intent, and it wasn't even something we were measuring to say, this has to be the return on the investment. That never entered the conversation on our side or from the New World Symphony. So it really was a collaboration around driving both of our missions forwards together.
Well, your investment, it's pretty obvious attending one of these Wallcasts, what it's doing to the people outside. I mean, they're just totally thrilled to be there. But with your investment, both of your investment, there normally has to be some type of return to you. And I'm not talking about financial return. I'm talking more of what does it do to a company to see that, hey, I'm a part of that. You see, because now you're investing part of you. It's not just throwing money at something. It's, no, we believe in that cause, but how does that change now? How does that look on the inside of the company, both for Citibank and New World?
One of the benefits that we saw that we weren't really intending to see or even looking for was the collaboration inside Citibank, first of all, was our employees had this renewed sense of engagement and pride in what we were sponsoring and becoming a part of. It also helped, Citibank's a big bank with a long history, over 200 plus years, and often we get caught up in the day-to-day, and this gave us an opportunity to work together across business lines. So on any given night, we had private bank clients with our retail bank clients, with business bank clients, with business owners. And so it was really a collaboration internally that we didn't necessarily plan on, but was a tremendous benefit for us personally.
One of the things that's become apparent is how sophisticated our audiences are. One of the big surprises was that at the first Wallcast, where the first community message came up from Diane, and this was precedent setting. We've never had a corporate sponsor on the wall in any way other than text recognition or logos. So there's a lot of internal discussion both at New World Symphony and with the City of Miami Beach, because we share that space with the City of Miami Beach, to talk about how we could position a sponsor who's coming in at the way Citibank has to present the Wallcast. And we came up with a community message where Citibank thanks everyone for attending, and they're proud to be a part of the Miami Beach community. And so it really is great value add for Citibank. At the first Wallcast, people applauded after Diane's speech, which shows the actual sophistication of the audience. They realized that Wallcast may be free, right? Wallcasts may be free to the public, but there's an enormous cost on our end at New World Symphony to put those on, and having the sponsorship with Citibank offsets those costs and allows it to continue. And I think our audience realizes that. So that's been fun to watch.
You guys obviously have a great relationship going, but now let's look externally. As Todd, as you're reaching a young professional crowd, the hipsters, the guys that the movement that really is going to take advantage of this event. Now, what are some of the things that you're doing actually to proactively reach out to them?
At New World Symphony, we do quite a bit of research in how to bring in new audiences to classical music. So the Wallcast is a great way because we introduce a lot of new people across almost every demographic spectrum. You see families out there, you see people on dates, you see people looking for dates, you see meetup groups who, birthday parties, engagement parties. It's really become a great way to introduce what we do to the community at large, and also people who are not from Miami. We get a lot of tourists who hear the music and they wander up and, grab a picnic basket and sit down. We also look at ways to bring in new audiences. We look at our Friends group is our Young Patrons group, which is run by my colleague Eva, who is here. It's over 500 members now. The age range is 22 to 42. And so we give them benefits throughout the year, which includes concert tickets, but also exclusive events for the members themselves. Another thing that we do in our outreach has become probably our second most popular program other than the Wallcast is Pulse, which is the late night at the Symphony. And so we have a DJ collaborate with our orchestra. The concert starts at 9:30 versus 7:30, and it goes until midnight, and it brings in a completely different crowd. And so through all these avenues, we're bringing new people to classical music and showing that it's not, there shouldn't be any barriers to enjoying it.
And just to add a little from our side of it, I really feel that our team became ambassadors for the symphony. Not only would they be helping clients with their financial needs, but then they'd ask them what they're interested in from an arts and culture perspective. And they'd be sure that they kept their names, and when there was a symphony or when there was a movie night that they thought they'd be interested in with their children or whatever, they would go ahead and invite them as our guests, even though it's free, but we would go ahead and host them. So really trying to go a little above and beyond what the client would expect from a financial institution.
So definitely customer service is something else that you need to think about as you're trying to engage the audience to come to your events. It's obvious that you go through great lengths to communicate to them, and sometimes even through social media or whatever it is that you're using. Don't put those kind of things like, oh well, it's just a new thing to do. No, it's another avenue where if you're trying to reach new audiences, definitely they're doing something that is making a difference. Diane, I wanted to ask you a question, which I'm sure it's at the top of the mind for everybody here, which is, Citibank, we think that, resources are totally unlimited. It's your bank, right? But the reality is that you have to make some tough choices of who you choose to partner with. Is there some general guidelines that you can share that you would say, hey, these are kind of like the things that kind of stand out when we're looking at who it is that we would want to collab with and sponsor?
Absolutely, and if I can just talk a little bit about communication before I answer that. We, obviously Citibank has a huge website, but we created our own City Miami microsite, and that's where a lot of the information is shared. So we kind of took it a step further and made it a little more local. It was an additional thing we did to share all of the events that were happening that Citi was involved in. But as far as how we choose, so Citi is a big bank, as I mentioned. The resources are not unlimited. I joined Citi about 4 years ago. It's going on 4 years, and I quickly learned that Miami at the time was not a target market for us. And if you're not a target market in a big organization, it basically equals no resources. And so for years, Citibank did not invest in Miami. And we had some work to do here, and I think we've done a good job of improving our image and customer service, as you mentioned. And so it was time with the client base that was here, the globality, the attraction, the brand recognition, that we started to invest. And so it was a real gift for us here in Miami locally to get the resources to be able to even start to look for a partner. And so we were very selective because we knew we needed to make the right choices. And as I mentioned earlier, a big part of that starts with reputation. It is very important who we align with, and that we don't outspend, we outsmart would be the way that I would put it. And so we're looking for opportunities where we're going to see big groups of clients and future clients that we're going to make a big impact in the community, and not just choose, so we choose larger items versus smaller ones. We'll choose one big item than having 5 little events that are going on. And so we picked about four events last year. Obviously, movie night and the symphony were 2 of them. You mentioned, thank you for the plug, the shameless plug for Citi Bike Miami. That was a huge sponsorship that we partnered with Deco Bike, not only rebranded the bike, so hopefully you take advantage of them because it's good for the community and the environment, but also it enabled the expansion to downtown and to Coconut Grove. And so we not only contributed in one way, but we allowed that expansion to contribute. So we're looking for larger opportunities that align with our core values that we think can make an impact in the community and that are also sustainable. We don't want something that's just a one-time wonder. So we want something that's going to continue to give back to the community.
Okay, so we have reputation. Guys, you got to watch out your reputation. And remember, reputation is not what you think your reputation is. Reputation is what other people are saying about you. So you cannot control that. That is something that you have to manage. And so make sure that as you're creating your communication, as you're talking, as you're preparing programming, that it really does align to your goals, to your values, and make that clear so that that reputation continues to grow and grow and grow, because obviously it gets the attention of the bigger possibilities for collaboration. Now, let me ask, how about looking, Todd, for other projects that you're working on? What are some of the secret things that you can let us in on?
I don't think anything is really a secret. We publish our upcoming, all of our concerts are set for next season. We're looking to enhance what we're doing. We do a lot, again, like I said earlier, a lot of audience research to try to figure out what's clicking, what's not clicking. Our marketing department does a great job with the audience research. I think one of the things you'll see from us, and Citibank has helped with this, is looking at what we're doing in the community of Miami Beach. I think watching Citibank come on board gives validation to other potential sponsors to come and look at what we're doing. A great example is Jackson Health Systems just signed on as a sponsor, and part of the sponsorship is going to be with the Wallcast. They're coming on Saturday night. They want to see what Citibank is doing. And so it's also opened up legitimate conversations with other companies like MasterCard and Coca-Cola. So once you're working with someone like Citibank, I think it opens up a lot of opportunities. And we're always looking to engage new audiences through different formats. And you'll see that in the upcoming season.
Now, there's always a goal. There's always, hey, we're putting all this time, all this effort, all these resources into something, and we want something to specifically happen. What has those been on both sides that you'll be able to target and say, hey, this is a return that we got on this, or it could be totally, you know what, it was a total surprise. We didn't even know this thing was going to happen. Is there something like that sticks out to both of you in regards to how after this, the collaboration and the partnership has started?
So I think I mentioned we didn't necessarily have any goals, and I have to be honest, I live in a goal-oriented world, and so I'm not accustomed to that and asked several times, so what is the goal? What am I going to be measured on in this partnership? And it was refreshing to honestly hear that it was about testing and learning what would work in the community, and also in a new partnership, something we had not done as a big company before. So not only was it new here in Miami, it was a new relationship for a new way of reaching the community for the company. I think one of our goals, obviously, was to engage our employees, our team, and I think we certainly achieved that. Engage many clients. Obviously, there's been business that has been generated from it, but that's secondary and honestly not measurable, perhaps. As Todd mentioned, there's 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 people there, and we're talking to just a small group of those. And so I think from a feel good to the community, we certainly accomplished that. I think exploring new opportunities together, we've done that. We've been able to take this to the next level in other cities, right? We're headed to New York and to Washington, which is exciting since that's part of my market too. And so I think and it's not a short period of time where you could measure the accomplishments of what we've done together. It continues to carry on and is sustainable.
Well, certainly, like all nonprofits here, we have a budget line in development. So that's the first goal that needs to be met, is making sure that we're hitting those budget goals. But when you look at a partnership like this, I mean, Diane talked about making it sustainable, making it long term. I mean, I don't think any of us went into this with the idea this is just going to be a one-year deal. They've made an investment in Miami, And we want to prove to them that as long as they're making that investment in growing awareness of Citibank in Miami, that we should be part of those plans. One of the most pleasant surprises, there's been two big surprises. One has been just how much fun they're to work with. I've worked with sponsorship levels at this size in different capacities, and it can be difficult, it can be challenging. And I won't name who they were, and it wasn't even in this market, but it really has been fun. As Diane mentioned, their employees have become engaged with what we do, their customers have become engaged with what we do. The other thing that's been a big surprise, and I think it was a surprise to us because it was a source of a lot of conversation last year when we were discussing how to kick this partnership off. It's a free concert, and one of the things that Citibank wanted to do is have a section in the park that is for city clients only. And so we went back and forth, and we had to talk to the city of Miami Beach about how we could make this work to create a reserved section in a park and a concert where there are no reserved sections. It's free to the public. And so we had a number of meetings where we just walked out in the park and looked at different places where we could put Citibank. And Citibank's idea was to put these blue chairs with their logo out, and they would invite clients to each wallcast, but have a special experience at the wallcast. And so we actually decided on a location in the park that's below our projection tower, and it doesn't block anybody's view. That was the big concern, because for our wallcast, when we have a 8 o'clock wallcast like we do this Saturday night, people get out there at 3 and 4 o'clock to stake out their place in the park with their picnic baskets and their blankets. We have regulars who are really committed to, where they want to be dead center. That's where the best sound is, the best visuals. And so we didn't want to create a situation where Citibank activating for their customers impacted the experience of the people attending the concerts, because that actually would hurt Citibank's brand image. If people saw them as being exclusive, that this is keeping people away from, or keeping people from enjoying a benefit that they've gotten used to. So where Citibank is with their section is under trees, but with clear sight lines, still in the center, but in the back, and so it doesn't block anyone. And it really has worked out. It's worked out for Citibank's clients and customers that they invite. Our people, Citibank gets a lot of questions now, like, oh, how do we get to sit in the blue chairs? How do we get the picnic baskets that you're doing? And it's created a lot of good buzz for Citibank among the local community. And so that's been a great surprise.
We love that we were able to actually come to terms on that portion of our partnership, because it was important to us that we were there, after the 3-minute video went away, and they saw us there in the community with them. And so, yes, we do put out the blue chairs, and our clients get to take them home, which is a nice kind of surprise and delight. And every wallcast that we do in movie, we get asked, how do I get to be here? And we, sign people up for the next one. And so it really has created a great synergy and has been perceived very well. I think where it could have gone the wrong way, we spent a lot of time making sure that it has not. And we do little things like that a lot. We'll serve popcorn at the movies for everyone and things like that. And so we're always trying to come up with kind of the next thing that makes people say, wow, that was really nice. I didn't expect that.
It's really great to see the extra mile and the effort that you are making in order to reach the people and service them, for real. And it is quite exciting. And also the fact that you're using your time together to generate ideas to how not just to do it the way that we've done it before, or to really explore different types of way of reaching the market. So that's incredibly exciting. So you guys are doing a phenomenal job, and I thank you for that, because we're obviously the ones that are benefiting from it.